What's going on, guys? This is the first edition, first episode, as far as you know, of Steal This Idea. Quick concept introduction here. We are here to propose ideas to you on the internet, whether you're watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you prefer to watch. We're going to bring you ideas, and we don't have time for these things. We're cooking ideas all the time, right, Eric?
Yeah, we are.
But we both have our things going on. We'll get into introductions really quickly here, but my name is Will. I am an 8-year e-com founder, and now I run a company called Saved by Package Protection. Been doing that for about 3 years. It's an e-com SaaS product. But back to it, we are going to propose ideas, and we want you to steal them. We want you to create billion-dollar companies off these ideas. If you do it, that's awesome. If you want to pay us, that's awesome. If you don't want to pay us, fine. Whatever. So that's what we're doing here today, Eric.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, and to introduce myself as well, Eric Autry. I'm co-founder of Shared Sweeps. Been in e-commerce, got into e-commerce through the finance world with fintech unicorn Wayflyer back in 2020, 2021. Also head of brand at Gas Monkey Garage. So we're very busy people. I think the moral of the story here is we have a lot of ideas, and this is your chance to steal them. So I believe Will has the first idea for tonight, which I don't quite understand yet, but I'm excited to hear. We can riff on it.
Yeah, so idea today, and a lot of our ideas, some will be more outlandish than others. Some are going to be really realistic. I think this is actually in the realistic realm of things. It's Binky's made out of something that's not plastic. And I think, there's a lot of media being created today about microplastics. There was just an article recently about how microplastics have entered the blood-brain barrier.
Yep.
And I was hanging out with my friends and their baby and just watching their baby chew on this Binky. And I'm like, that's like pretty unnatural, pretty early introduction, you know?
Yeah, when you really think about it, not that I'm a scientist or anything, but the whole thing about microplastics, that effect on testosterone levels in men is like huge. Like the shrink in taints is a huge deal.
That's
right now.
I don't understand that. Again, I'm not a scientist either. I'm not a scientist
but
either.
It basically they tracked testosterone levels in males for the last 50 years, and then microplastics is one of the only things that can tie directly to it. Fact check that. But microplastics have affected male testosterone levels. So I think it's interesting because right now, if that's your business idea, right, no plastics on Binkies or that's also not a natural thing as humans that have evolved in thousands of years. People weren't sucking and biting on plastics.
Yeah.
That's not right.
And it's interesting too because my brother actually raised a kid and they went no Binky. That is
no
the Binky's it's literally called a pacifier. It pacifies the baby, and there's a whole movement that goes against Binkies. But beyond that, there's definitely a lot of parents who I don't think that a parent who's using a Binky right now would necessarily realize that they want a non-plastic Binky until you put it on the market.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of premium products that are on the market that people don't realize that they would want until it's there, until it exists for them.
One of the things that I noticed when I was at Wayflyer back in 2021, I was with Jack Pierce. We were in Atlanta, and we were just trying to see how many people we could underwrite that day. And one of the brands that came by, I think it was called June or something like that, and it was a period cup. And now I'm a male, I don't necessarily understand that, what's going on there, but very unique concept that definitely was new, really high growth company, very profitable, repeat purchases, everything you'd look for. And it was all because they told everyone, hey, you don't have to do what you've been doing before. We're educating you on how to handle those situations going forward, and this is our solution. It's to me, with the whole plastic Binky, it's that almost makes it easier to sell because you're telling people who thought they knew what they were doing that they don't. You're educating them on it.
I mean, it's just a huge marketing opportunity because if I'm a parent and my kid does have a Binky, there's so much. It's kind of like Jolie, what Ryan's doing with Jolie with shower heads, where it's oh wait, this water in this shower head this water that I'm showering in is not healthy for me. I've never thought about that, but clearly, it's truly playing on people who want better for themselves, and it's a big part of the zeitgeist right now, these microplastics. And I think that there's a massive marketing opportunity to say, and not only that, but you start a company, and this is how we started my first company, the single product. We started with dog leashes.
Single product, yeah.
And you start with that single product, you build up the marketing around the concept. And I mean, that's how we approach our first company, was how do we market it? Like, the product is secondary, but how do we market it? And here I think the product actually is really important, but it starts with the marketing of, hey, is your kid just chewing on a piece of plastic all day? And I don't know what you're gonna go make it of. Like, maybe you make it of cellulose, or like vegetable
But also,
cellulose.
like, how much does that product really cost? Like, if you're talking about business right now too, it's all about contribution margin, profitability, EBITDA, and you're starting a business that isn't that negligent in terms of margins. Like, how much does it cost to do a non-plastic Binky? Probably not.
It can't be
much.
that crazy, especially at scale. Like, the product development might cost a little bit, but I just think, when I think like about the marketing angle that you could take on it, I think you would have a lot of parents, and a lot of moms, a lot of people, like, it's such an easy thing to spend an extra $10 on to have prevention, where you're gonna have a lot of people in the market who are like, maybe not hippies. Like, I'm a hippie. I'm a self-pronounced hippie. I don't like the idea of microplastics. I try to drink most of my water out of glass and like good filters. And that being said, the whole thing against microplastics is like, it goes beyond people who actually care about it, and if in the sense of like, they're still drinking bottled water themselves. But another actually fun fact: people are less price sensitive spending on their kids and their pets than themselves. So when you can spend money to better your kid's life or your pet's life, you're gonna spend more money there than yourself. But after you develop that product and you develop the business, how much exists in a child's life that has plastic that you can just replace and say, no more microplastics?
You're talking about Jolie, and I just want to like go back into that, because I was talking about Jolie to a company that's about to launch a giveaway with us. But Jolie, they were like, hey, there's all these skincare brands out there. There's all these skincare brands using all this skincare, and you're focusing on your skin with cosmetic products.
With chemicals.
With chemicals, and what they did is they changed the whole game. They're like, you don't even know what questions to ask about skin. It's like, Jolie blew up so much because they redefined skincare, where it's like, that's why it's not as necessary for them. It wasn't marketing. You're saying like the marketing strategy. I think it's branding. So it's not really marketing, because marketing is like, what channels are we getting revenue from? Where it's like, the branding is like, hey,
but marketing
microplastics are bad for you.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't do that to yourself, so why are you doing it to your kid, right? And it's like, oh, we gave him a Binky because we wanted our kid to be able to relax and stay calm. It's like, well, you're looking at it completely wrong, Yeah. Like, I think that was a great analogy with having Jolie involved, because Jolie perfectly, obviously, they're like, everybody's talking about Jolie every day.
Yeah. But, no, I mean, the Jolie too is like I think a part of their branding and the marketing, and I think those things do go hand in hand. What your market, like you said, your brand is where it starts. Marketing is what you build. Marketing is built upon that branding. But their whole point is like, you're not thinking about step zero. You're not thinking about the source. Yep. And so I don't know. I just think it could be really interesting. And it's funny because when we ran our pet company, like, we picked up on the fact that people were much more willing to spend on their dogs, and we learned that it's a known fact that people were more willing to spend on their kids too. And like, I guess the only thing, and this is again devil's advocate, I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate when I can against ideas, but I think people are having less kids, so the market is shrinking to a degree.
Yeah.
But people are always gonna be having kids.
People are having less kids. Yeah, that's definitely. Elon would tell you you're spot on with that.
Yeah.
I think overall there's still more people, and your TAM is way bigger. Your TAM is human beings.
Yeah.
That are born.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
That's why when I was with Jack at Wayflyer, we always talked about like, what are the best businesses to start? It's like, obviously the businesses that have your target audience is buying for somebody else, where they don't have as much price sensitivity, which is like pet companies.
Yeah.
That have repeat purchase, so CPG pet, like dog food, right? Anything like
Straight.
dog CBD, like Susie CBD.
Susie,
like,
yeah, you
crushing, right?
You'll get like Farmer's Dog too.
Farmer's Dog, and then you have those businesses doing well, but the TAM of having like every baby born, like, you don't have to be the best marketer in the world, really. Like, you have a great product idea like that. I think there's probably a dozen 25-year-olds that are going to be watching this at some point in the next year that have the skill set and ability to make this a very profitable company for themselves.
Yeah, no, it'll be. I mean, and we're serious when we say steal the idea because we don't have time. And if you need help in developing the idea,
Good luck.
$1,000 an hour for consulting fees is what I'm going to charge you. But I'll help you to do it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll help you. I'll do it. I'll cut Will's price in half.
Talk to Eric because he obviously has way more time and it's not.
I'll help you do a giveaway. I'll help you do it.
But yeah, we're really excited to start the show, guys. And I think you're going to see some more, like I said, some more serious ideas, some less serious ideas. But seriously, I would actually make me so happy if I saw someone start a business that
It's
we
gonna
suggested.
happen. I hope, man. That'd be really cool. Give us a percentage, obviously.
That would be great. That would be great.
Binky's, microplastics, love that idea. I think it's a great idea. Somebody should steal it.
Do it. Cheers. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.